All right, so we were talking about
Bass drum technique, heel up or heel down.
yeah, I just wanted to properly retrace my footsteps here so that to properly contextualize. But yeah, we were talking about the fact we're listening to something. We're listening to me as an 18-year-old kid playing with a couple bands in Toronto, right? And I made mention, oh yeah, back then I was playing flat-footed. Prakash John stayed for a gig because he thought my foot was really accurate. And Dick Wilson thought that my flat-footed playing was very good. But the heel up thing was always confusing to me. And I wanted to have that feeling of floating. I wanted to have the ability to mimic what the hands and the arms would be doing. So that I would have this feeling of a dance. And a lot of guys talk about, well, you got to go out and get a wood beater, because if you're playing rock, it's got to be heel up. And what I learned is that I described to you what Dick Wilson taught me. I asked you, do you know what the sound of the bass drum is, right? And he would say, it's just a pat, pat, pat. See, it's not about volume necessarily. And of course you want to have dynamics with all the limbs, but and the backbeat is just a blat, blat, blat. So you have a pat and a blat. So you get pat, blat, pat, blat. It's about not flamming. It's about the accuracy. It's about having control over all of your limbs, right? And so in that sense, by learning how to play heel up, and I play a lot of jazz heel up. I don't play that much heel down. My foot is often resting in between notes. Put my leg down. And then if I need it, it comes up and starts to do its thing, and then it rests. There are no rules. But yeah, I don't necessarily need to play loud because I'm heel up, right? So that's a whole other thing. Dick Wilson would make you specifically come in for a foot lesson. You couldn't include the two. It was like, no, you have to schedule a foot lesson, and then he'd spend at least a good half an hour, 45 minutes dusting off his bass drum. That was have to dust it off because we weren't going to practice on a dusty bass drum. He'd pull it out just for those lessons. Well, anyway, so that's my thinking with regards to the feet. The other thing that I noticed that I don't have happening, and it's a subtlety, and that is the feeling. That is what Richard Martinez taught me with regards to this idea of the J. Have we talked about that? Have I talked to you about the J? Right? So that was back in the days when I conceptualized time as like inches on a ruler. And I would line everything up. It could be real accurate, and you can hear it, it's accurate, but it doesn't have the funkiness of the back of the beat, right? That's the J. And it can be half time, blat, pat, blat, but it can be flat, dum, ga, dum, da. It could be dum, cha, dum, cha, or it could be dum, cha, doom, cha, doom, 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 cha, doom, cha, ding, 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 ding. It's all there. There's always this thing. So that's where you get this idea. What do they call it? You're swinging like a mug. You're swinging like a mug. And so we're trying to get that lilt, because you listen to a blues and you think of it without the J. Boom, doom, 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 doom. Then it doom, 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 doom. Polka, a polka goes up and down. And there is a different feeling. It's subtle, but the subtlety is everything. Okay, so that's the J. And so these are things that I don't hear in my playing, right? Or that I remember contending with. How do I play heel up? Why is that weird for me? How do you do that, right? And again, you know, the ankle is leading. The idea of, you've seen a lot of guys, they have to lean back. They lose their balance because they're playing from their hips.
Yeah.
And we're not doing that. We're leading. If you just try this, we don't need to put the camera down or anything, but if you just put your feet flat-footed on the floor and you just roll up onto the balls of your foot, what happens to your legs? They go up.
Yeah.
They go up, and that's what we're trying to learn, that feeling, right? See the throw that we're learning, this motion. It's akin to what they're not identical. They're not exactly the same because you have a knee, not an elbow. So, and you don't have a shoulder joint, so that the thing doesn't swivel out. The leg doesn't swivel out in the same way. But essentially what's happening is we have this fixed point in the universe. That's the balls of your feet on the floor. And if we imagined, if we actually did put the bead on the surface and we pushed up, right? Now it's not what we're doing because we don't necessarily want to make a sound. It's not quite, it's either not quite the same thing. Although that said, with regards to what you mentioned about playing rock and playing heel up and leaving the beater on the head, you should be able to play heel up and not leave the beater on the head.
Yes.
So in that sense, they could be more the same, more similar. Okay, but see that's what we're getting here. We're getting this pronation. See, it's as if this was my foot on a pedal, and I pushed down on the floor, but there is no floor. But I pronated or I turned my ankle. The leg, it motivates the upward motion of the leg, as it does with the pronation of the wrist, motivating the upward motion of the forearm, and as well motivating the upper arm. Okay, so in that sense, you see, they're similar, and that's what we're trying. That's what we're trying to get. Okay, so we were working on that. We were looking at the drag.
Hold on, Kevin. I'm gonna tell my neighbor here to close his door. Hold on.
I'm gonna pull out. Let's see, that would be. Da 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 do 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 da bo de do ba ba da de da da do 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 de. Uh-huh. Oh.
Sorry about that.
So we're looking at the Ruff,
Yeah.
called the drag or a 3-stroke roll, right?
Then there's a half drag terminology there as well.
So do you have page 13 up?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay, so you see that there's connectivity here.
Yeah.
Because now we're discussing making the motion heel up with the feet. We drew carefully. I drew some comparisons between the two. Okay. So now we're looking at the Ruff. Okay, and everything has to be in place. Dick would say, excuse me, Dick would say the feet are a lot easier than the hands. Getting your feet together, because you don't have to contend with the fingers. You're not holding a stick.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're just the feet are really more about just making motions.
Yes.
Right. You don't have to worry about
The intermediary.
what's going to happen with the toes. We just spread them out and relax, let them do their thing. But okay. So we have what is an appoggiatura, which, if we're playing a right Ruff, that means that the appoggiatura will be in the left, right? It means we have to make two notes, and then we have to make a throw. And just kind of contemplate that, particularly because I have to pay particular attention to a grip that I'm not as familiar with. Okay, so now we know we're going to play two notes, right? We're looking for. Oh, wasn't throwing in the left. Okay, we're just looking for this nice rolling motion, right? Just it's supposed to be very relaxed, and all we're doing is we're raising one hand high, the other hand low, and as the thing gets going, we end up utilizing what is the single stroke, right? The single stroke being one of the 7 basic strokes. It has to do with playing an upstroke to a downstroke, and Murray thought they were so important, so often combined and used together, that it should be its own stroke. Hence, he called it the single stroke. Now, we've typically only spent time playing one note on the way up, right? We want to make a tap, and then follow that up. Okay. Now we're going to play two notes and go up. So now the fulcrum in the hand is going to become important. Okay. And we spend a bit of time doing that. Okay. So if I just turn my wrist for one note, go ahead and do that for me. Okay, really important that we feel the stick sitting in the fulcrum, right? And it's really important that we maintain a grip up front. That's our guide. First finger and thumb. Flat of the thumb, first knuckle of the tip of the first finger, right? We want to maintain that grip. And we just want to turn very relaxed way. Okay. Now, what would happen if you just turn that into a double? Can you play a slower rebound? It's true that we could get a faster rebound, but it's also true that we could get a very slow rebound. How do I do that? Still not as slow as mine.
I noticed you had a pivot there and then a fall of the stick. So
Right. Well, now we're getting back to this idea of just getting into position, half an inch bead to butt end, parallel to the plane surface. Okay. And now if we just turn our wrist ever so slightly, we're going to end up touching the surface. We just want to turn and touch the surface. Do that again for me. Okay, just turn and touch the surface. I don't need to see, I'm exaggerating, but yeah, there's we're not doing that. We're just turning. Look how flat it stays. There's not enough force to get it to react. We're just turning and touching the surface. Okay. Now, if we follow through, what happens?
Well, the hand pronates.
And what else happens?
Well, the hand pronates and cocks forward, and well, the stick is away from the palm now.
Why?
Well, because the hand pronated.
The wrist pronated.
Yeah.
What's happened? Or the hand. What else has happened? You've left out something very important.
Well, there's a pivot here in the guide.
Why?
Well, simple. I think because the tip's resting on the. Well, that would happen even if the tip.
Let's find out. Let's just come to this position without a stick. Well, we're in the right, so stay right. Right. So I'm just against my tummy, just letting it hang. Yeah, letting it all hang out. Right. Just barely touch it. Now, just go ahead and bend forward. I think you threw your fingers open. Then you come back. Okay. Now just leave your fingers alone and just bend forward. Maybe. Just come into this position so I can see it here. You see, your fingers haven't really opened up. See, the tips come away from each other, and then as you come back, they come towards each other. If you had really opened up naturally, no, it doesn't go like that. This is what you're doing. Watch. Doing this. And holding your fingers together. You must be. The tips of the fingers spread apart, don't they? You can't do it. You can't make it happen. Just go ahead and shake your hand out.
Yeah.
No, right here. No, stay right here. Just shake it out and stay here. No, just shake it out like that. Just shake it out. Yeah, there. See, the tips are a little bit apart.
Yeah.
Don't hold them apart. That ruins it. It's worse than them not coming towards the same. Okay, now you're just going to turn your wrist back towards the ceiling. You're doing it. I can see you pull your fingers in. No, it doesn't. You just leave them. You're not allowed to do anything with them. That's better. And now just turn your wrist and just see what happens. Don't do anything with them. You don't have to close them. What if they didn't close? What if I told you they didn't close? Then what would you do? You'd hold them open. Yeah, there you go. They react to the wrist. You don't have to. Well, instead of looking at them, can you feel them touching each other right now?
No, I feel a little bit of openness in between each digit.
I don't. I feel my fingers all snuggled up together.
They are.
Hugging a rough. Everything is together. You put some. I could almost perhaps maintain holding some water in here for a minute before it started to seep out. It's close, in a sense. But yeah, my fingers are together. They're together. And now, go ahead, now feel them together. Stay with me, Joe. Feel them together. Feel them all touching each other. Okay. Now start to bend forward and you'll feel them come away from each other. You'll feel the ability for air to pass through everywhere. A little better, and then you come back and they're all going to snuggle up again. Right, there you go. It's cold out there. It's cold in Toronto. It's a 5-dog night, and they're all going to hang out together. Okay, all right. So when we get to the surface and we touch, and then we follow through, I don't make too much of a big deal about feeling everything separate. I just, because you're holding the stick, whatever happens, happens. But the hand open, the fingers open. So you end up getting end up getting this. My hand is open. See the fingers elongated?
Yeah.
Well, that's why the first finger and thumb are pivoting, isn't it? Because if the hand didn't open, the first finger and thumb wouldn't pivot. And the hand doesn't need to, you don't have to have a stick in your hand pushing against the surface for it to open up. It'll be proved that the fingers will open up. The stick doesn't need to be, you don't need to be leveraging against the tip of the stick on the surface. Okay, so we're just going to feel that again. We're going to come to terms with what's going on. We're going to touch, and I still feel just a tiny look, just touch. It's a quarter of an inch. Okay, and now I'm going to feel very much. I feel a follow through. I feel the follow through, as Richard Martinez refers to it. He calls it a follow through. Dick would just say, just turn your wrist. Right, and the fingers open up underneath, and the stick has gone down parallel. Right, that's what's happening. So if I am looking to achieve, if I'm looking right, and as you bring your wrist back to the ceiling, at a certain point, the butt end will leverage against the palm, and you'll be here. It's just nice and slow, so you can really experience the whole, luxuriate in the tactile experience. Go ahead, follow through. Keep following through a little more. Yep, now bring it back up slowly. Slowly, then it touches the palm, and it lifts up. Okay, you have some of that going on, right? But to what extent? Well, it depends on the speed of the rebound, the volume of the rebound, how high we've turned. There's a lot going on, but that's essentially what's happening. We're looking for that feeling. Okay, so if we're just turning for one note, nice and easy. If I want to turn that into multiple rebounds, I'm just going to follow through and let it lay on the surface. Try again. No, we weren't turning that high. Let's maintain, watch, this same height of turn. Yours is dying more quickly. Watch how I follow through. I follow through. I follow through. No, it's not about how hard. Watch. I can follow through and watch. I didn't even turn to the ceiling. You can still get a bunch of notes. You don't need to go wham to get more rebounds. It's more about something else, Joe. So you see why this idea of, because you can play pretty fast doubles on the rebound, but you don't have control over the speed. Murray Spivak would say that the doubles on the rebound actually, there's a place where they can either be on the wrist. There's an overlap where they can either be on the wrist or where they can be a rebound. So that we're using the fulcrum in the hand, right? So there's that place where they could be either or. And then you get into the place where it's typically too slow and it has to become wrist, right? Or it's so fast that it has to become rebound. But when we have real control, we can extend the range of the overlap, right? So that as you develop more control, you'll be able to play slower rebounds on the rebound. And that's more difficult, okay? And so you can't do that right now. You can only play really fast rebound, all right? And so now we're going to learn about how to access the full range of speed, okay? So try that again. Just get to know, just do this. This is something Dick Wilson would do all the time. He's sitting there on his own pad. Just nice and natural. He doesn't have to twist or anything, just touches. Just touch and follow through. Touch and follow through. Touch and follow through a little less for fun. That's what happens. Don't go lifting up. Don't go lifting up to get the follow through. The follow through goes down. Yeah. There you go. Now can you just turn and let it bounce multiple times as your hand is moving through, or as your hand continues to add force by following through? Go ahead. Why are you going sideways?
Oh.
Okay, you're not getting a very slow rebound. Why not? Well, we'll figure it out, right? I'll figure it out. Let's see, what are you doing? First of all, what's the first thing you said? You said, I noticed that the stick did this when I did it slow. It did this. You didn't mention the follow through. It certainly doesn't twist to the side. You kind of want to go sideways, it seems. I got a little better. So what we want to do is we're going to continue to add force. It's almost like friction. We're going to, you don't feel very much. You're just going to, if you keep following, look how straight I am. Completely straight. Water would just roll straight down. No, your water goes out to the side. Better? Nope. It's not too big a deal either. Just stay at the surface and let the stick rock over the fulcrum. Don't worry about the follow through for a minute. Yeah. See, the follow through is, it's like for every note I have to move just a little more, but not much more. Tiny. You know, so we're not going to end up like that. Right again. You have to stay. I want you to stay in German. Stay flat. Stay flat. Up and you went into somewhere, you have to stay flat, up and down. Try it again. Don't slam. That was a little better. So now we're gonna look for this. The stick almost, it's as if it travels through. You see this space here? Mm-hmm. When we don't close up this space, we leave this space open. It's going to feel like the stick is traveling through that space. See it? I want you to try that. Try focusing on that.
Okay.
As you're following through, allow that stick to rock over the fulcrum, traveling right through that space. Check it out. Watch. Here, it's just in the middle finger. I get more rebounds than you just doing that. Now, I'm not even thinking about a follow through. I'm just letting it rock over the fulcrum. Look at all those rebounds.
Second, I need to plug this in. The computer. Oh, jeez. Okay. What I'm trying to show you is there's nothing wrong with your pad. Yeah.
Your pad is plenty bouncy. Look. The stick wants to bounce. No. Forget all that. Just look. Let the damn thing bounce. I don't care where you put it. Here, finger, here's just first finger and thumb. Look at all those bounces. And nice and easy, just drop it. Just drop it. Yeah, look at all those bounces. Put it in the middle finger. Just, just let it rebound. Okay, there it is, rebounding just fine. Now we're going to put our 3-finger grip together, right? And we're going to honor what the body does. Right? We're just I don't. Here it is with me not following through. See. How come it's not bouncing as much as it was before? Why isn't it bouncing like this? Look. No, if you slam down too hard, don't cry. Rock over whatever fulcrum you decide on. No stuff. No, the bending isn't working for you. You're just getting. There's no watch. I want this. Just first finger and thumb only. No, just let it drop and rock over the fulcrum. Now your fulcrum is the guide. It's also still a guide. There. There it is. Yeah. Now put the middle finger underneath. Let's try this. No, easy. Just the middle finger. Don't mess up anything. Just let it rock over a little wide. Now the fulcrum is going to be a little wider. Try that. Now you just slammed it down and you got less rebounds. I don't know why. There you go. There it is. Better there. Don't slam. Just let it rock over the fulcrum. And there's a little there's a little follow through right there. A little follow through. Come on, let it bounce over that fulcrum, just like you did when it was just the first finger and thumb, or when it was just the middle finger. We want lots of rebounds. Here, try it between the middle finger and the thumb. Try that for fun. Plenty of rebounding. Watch, I get to the surface. I get to the surface right here, and it wants to rebound, and there's just a little follow through. That's all. You don't see it. There you go. Now put your first finger on, and don't mess that up. Don't change anything. You came down much. Okay, so you're getting there. Okay, do that in the other hand. So really, we're going with this nice, gentle wrist turn, and then we're just asking for more notes. And there's just a slight follow through, and then see. Go ahead and show me how many rebounds there are there. Don't slam. That's not helping you. It's spoiling your rebound. Ruins it. Okay, how many rebounds are you getting?
I got about 9 there.
I hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it's petering out, but it's.
Don't play harder. Be more attentive to maintaining a beautiful fulcrum. A nice 3-finger narrow grip fulcrum and a little follow. That's how you get more rebounds, not by playing harder. Try it again. Nice and easy. Tiny bit more follow through, better fulcrum. That's all. Nope, you're going sideways. So straight up and straight down. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. Not that one. Now give me 4 rebounds. Don't slam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, you get wait. Okay, stay with me. Now 3 rebounds. No, straight up. Don't go so cocky. Cockeyed off to the side. Cockeyed is your follow through. Stay nice and straight. 3. 4. You go. 3. Take timing. Stay at the surface. How much follow through is there? Very subtle. Now 2 notes. Straight up. There you go. There. Now 1 note. Get any tighter? Just 1 note. Now to get 2 notes, you're going to let it rock over the fulcrum and stay at the surface a little longer. Now 3 notes. Slam. First note's going to be the. If you make the first note too loud, it'll be harder to get the other notes up to volume. It's starting to look pretty good now. Okay, now put 2 of those with a downstroke in the right. And we'll arrive.
I mean, two rebounds in each hand.
No, 2 notes in the left and a downstroke in the right.
Oh.
Playing a drag. Do it again. Okay, not bad. Go ahead, let's put the metronome on. Put the metronome on at yeah, put the metronome on at put it on at 44. Okay, remember it's written as quarter notes. Okay, so all we're doing is we're playing that little rebound, the appoggiatura in the left, and a downstroke in the right.
Yeah, okay.
Just for fun. Remember, we're working on the appoggiatura at about. We're just trying to get rebounds somewhere around here. So just give me a little turn to the ceiling, just a little, just enough. You just remember. I explained to you that you don't need to slam to get more rebounds, but turning just a little higher will help provide you, as you're learning this, will help provide you with enough momentum, just a little bit of momentum. There you go. It's nice. See, 2 nice even notes. You're not doing much. All you're doing is turning your wrist. Okay, now go the other way. Okay, can you go both ways?
Yeah.
I don't mind a little bit of a wrist turn for the appoggiatura. Just a tiny to give you there, just enough momentum. Nope, a little more of an appoggiatura. I want you to feel that double. Okay, go ahead and put the metronome up to, put it up to 60. See what it looks like there. So now what I'm looking for is I want you to alternate them. Okay, go ahead and put the metronome up to 72. Okay, now go put the metronome back down to 40. Now go ahead and leave out, don't play the quarter note rest. It's going to play quarter notes.
Oh, okay, got it. So we're going to leave it.
Forget to give me a little bit of a turn for your for the throw. Watch. I know you're being careful about getting up to here. But we need to turn our wrist turn. There you go. A little bit of a turn. And an appoggiatura. Okay, now go ahead and put the metronome up to go ahead and put it up to 60 now.
60 beats? Okay.
Now, what we really want to do, Joe, is we want to decide on the speed of the appoggiatura. How close are the two notes to one another? Because we can go, or we can go, or we go, right? We want to decide how close are they going to be together, and then we want to try to maintain that. Okay, go ahead and play. But keep that in mind. Put the metronome up to, put it up to 72. Can you open it up just a little bit more? Listen. Okay, go ahead and put the metronome up to, put it up to 90. Can you give me a bigger throw? Is a bigger throw available for you? I'm coming here. Really up. It's not hard. Just pause. And see, it's really rest. It's really rest. 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 Okay. Okay, so you're there, and you see what happened? What would be the compelled you into the state of the single stroke.
That's right.
I induced the single stroke. You see, you started to naturally, without even talking about it. It became up to down. It became up to down. Okay, and you do have the ability to turn higher. So that's pretty good. See, it's starting to work. Not that big a deal. Okay. And you're beginning to develop a better understanding, remember what Murray Spivak he'd refer to this, and so would Richard Wilson. This technique is about controlling the rebound, see? Because for you, earlier on, multiple rebounds was, no matter what you did, it was always this. It was just never that, or this, right? Or this. That's what you're going to have to develop. To start to learn how to open up that rebound. Not about how hard you play. It's about letting it rock over a fulcrum, and whatever little follow through there is, exists so that when you, not that much, so that when you want the stick to stop rebounding, yeah, you have to lift it up. But if you haven't followed through, there's nothing to lift up. Right? It's like that. Okay? But you're learning to control the rebound. So that's why you were able to play nice open roughs. They started to tighten up a little bit, but you were able to manage, you were able to keep them more open. So you're starting to develop that control of controlling you're learning to control the rebound. And so what happens is we get the stuff happening, right? All we're doing is turning our wrist, right? Find that turn. And then we just know that if we have a fulcrum and we follow through, just stay with me for a second, and we follow through, see, all we have to do is turn our wrist, let it bounce. down here. We can. Okay, right. They're just all rebounds. Swiss triplets are rebounds. Right? Or we can split doubles. Well, actually, this is splitting doubles. So I'm just playing doubles. Now I'll turn it into singles. Now I'm playing alternating flam. Now I'm playing Swiss triplets. Now I'm playing doubles. Okay? That's all that's happened. We're controlling the rebound. So I can take those doubles, I can put them next to each other, I can, how would it work? I can split them, I can move them over so they become flams, right? They can be Swiss triplets, or they can be, what, how would you say, they can be singles, so that you're turning for every note. Okay? So you learn, we're developing that kind of control. So it's coming along. Let's stop this for a minute, and we'll reconvene in a moment. Good job. It's good, man.